caverns on the coast of Malta and majestic and green hills in Albania are among the destinations you're invited to explore in Dream of Europe. Your tour guide for the new 7-part PBS series is travel expert Kathy McCabe, who's extended her popular Dream of Italy show and magazine to cover the entire continent, giving viewers access to breathtaking, unique, and culturally important places. And we now welcome the host, Kathy McCabe. Kathy, a huge congratulations. Tell us what it means to you to have this finally come to fruition.
Oh, it was quite an adventure. I love Italy, but I wanted to expand, spread my wings and explore more of Europe, including places I had visited when I was very young. For instance, I studied in France, lived in London, and I wanted to bring these places with this Dream Of formula to viewers.
I like that you focus on all the places we know and love, but places that are not so familiar as well, including Malta's Blue Grotto. Take us there. Tell us what it's all about.
So it's funny, I think we've all heard of Malta, but what do we know about it? So I wanted to explore, it's very close to Italy. I'm always flying by Malta, but this time I stopped in. And it's gorgeous. This is the Blue Grotto. I got to tell you, it rivals the Blue Grotto in Capri in Italy. Just beautiful coastline. Everyone sort of invaded or ruled Malta, so layers and layers of history. And everyone speaks English because it was ruled by the British until the 60s. Really something different and pretty easy to get to.
Wow, I want to go just looking at that video. My goodness. All right, the Greek islands next. Santorini, Mykonos, we know those. Which ones did you choose to explore?
Well, Santorini was one of them, and we explored their amazing wine and food. Probably, some of the best tomatoes I've had in my life. Because it's all volcanic, which we know because they've been having some tremors lately. But we also wanted to explore these islands, the Saronic Islands, that are really easy to get to from Athens. You can just take a ferry or hydrofoil for a day. I went to a pistachio farm, an animal rescue. Greece has thousands of islands, hundreds that are inhabited. And it's really, always very popular for a reason. But you can get away from the crowds by exploring different islands.
Yes, and I love that you're introducing us to those. All right, Albania is next. Why Albania, and where did you go?
Funniest thing, my hair and makeup, my hairdresser and makeup woman in Italy is from Albania. So I've always been hearing about Albania. I wanted to go somewhere very foreign that is not popular or known by Americans. And I was blown away. Gorgeous seaside, green mountains, castles, much cheaper than other destinations in Europe. So if you want to be one of the first, definitely Europeans, these ruins, Europeans have discovered it, but Americans haven't. There's an American warplane that ended up in Albania. That's quite an urban legend, quite a tale. Incredible outdoors. This is the Vjosa River, considered the last wild river in Europe.
I'm a little embarrassed to admit it. All right, I'm going to ask you a question. Where exactly is Albania?
Well, it's kind of it's not far from Greece, across from Italy. So it's not super hard to catch a flight. Lots of Albanians emigrated to Italy. So if you're in Italy, you can easily get a flight, or through London, the major cities. So it's just something different.
All right, speaking of London, super cool experience you had there. Abbey Road, tell us what you did there.
Like a religious experience. I always have crazy ideas. The thing about me is I actually go and do them. So a friend of mine wrote our theme song. We needed a new theme song for a new show. And I said, why don't we go record it and film the recording at Abbey Road Studios in London. People don't realize it's a live and recording studio 7 days a week. But if you have the big bucks, you too can go and rent the Beatles studio like we did. So it can be a crazy travel experience if you want it to be. But we also wanted to show the making of a song and this iconic London landmark.
Whoa. Okay. You win. That's the coolest thing in the entire world. But you also want your viewers to win. Tell us about your trip giveaway.
I do. One of our sponsors for our show is Kensington Tours, and they are offering a $20,000 trip to Europe. You spend that $20,000 however you want, airfare, hotels. You can come to dreamofeurope.com and you'll see across the top, but it's dreamofeurope.com/win a trip. It's a great prize, a $20,000 trip to Europe.
Woof. If somebody is now dreaming of Europe thanks to you, and this is a hard question, if you've never been, where should you go first?
London's a great place to start. It's probably less intimidating because of the language. I think that's where I went when I was 10 years old and fell in love with Europe and actually studied European studies in college. So I think London is a great jumping off point too. If you want to start there and maybe even you can take the train to Paris and then test yourself a little more.
All right, Kathy McCabe, thank you. Watch Dream of Europe on PBS stations, pbs.org, and on the PBS app. Coming up.